So, welcome to Basic Electronics Episode 2. Today, we're talking about kits. Now, in my last video, I mentioned the Electronics Learning Lab, seen here. I mentioned this dozens of times. But one thing that I didn't mention was the Discover Electronics Kit by Sparkle Labs. And this was my first kit. I got this about a year ago, and it worked great. I mean, it came with all sorts of parts. Kind of hard to see here on the camera, but came with all the capacitors, resistors, LEDs, everything. Also came with, see if I can find it, came with a breadboard. A standard breadboard works great. So, this is where the comparison comes in. This costs $50, and you can only buy it online. This costs $70, and you can buy it at any Radio Shack and a couple online places. So, which one is better for beginning electronics? And it's kind of a tough comparison. It all depends on personal preference and how much you want, if you want to get your money's worth more, or if you'd rather have it be easier. So I'll go into the details, and I'm just going to get started basically. So, first thing I'm going to talk about is the book. This is the book that comes with the Sparkle Labs kit. That's probably what I'm just going to call it from now. Sparkle Labs kit. It doesn't have a whole lot of pages. I mean, it's only 32 pages on the back cover. I mean, you can't really see it. But 32 pages. And there's about a circuit every page. But the nice thing is, they show you a picture in color of the circuit right next to the schematic, which makes it very easy for seeing, okay, that's a potentiometer, that's also a potentiometer. That's an LED, that's an LED. It helps a lot for building the circuits while you're still trying to figure out how to read the schematics. Now these are the books that came with the Electronics Learning Lab from Radio Shack. 2 books, and they are, I believe, 96 pages each. So, 2 96-page books versus 1 32-page book. If you just look at the thickness, I think that really shows. Now, which is easier to learn from? Basic Electronics, the Radio Shack one, or the Electronics Kit Manual? I would definitely say this one. Just for the fact that it has pictures in color of the exact circuit. Makes it really easy to find how to build stuff. I mean, that was great for me to learn on. This shows you the schematic and how to build it with directions. But the directions are like attach a blue wire from J32 to spring 68. You don't get as much out of it as you do a physical picture on the actual books. Now, this probably only has about 16 projects, I think, and this has like upwards of 200. Some of them are similar, very similar projects, but still. Let's just look at the size of the kits themselves. Now, this is the Electronics Lab. This is the big thing that comes in the box. Like, this is what you build the circuits on. This comes with the Sparkle Labs kit. That was the Radio Shack kit. This is the Sparkle Labs kit. And it's just a simple breadboard. I mean, nothing too fancy. Got the power buses. So, definitely get more space to work with stuff. And this also has components on it built into the actual board They're hard to mount on a breadboard, like buttons are a pain to mount on a breadboard. Switches, they're hard. Potentiometers, not exactly easy to mount unless you have one, like, actually I have one mounted on here already. These are the potentiometers that come with the Sparkle Labs kit. Now, let's talk about parts, what comes with the actual kit. One thing I'm going to say really quick is I definitely like the box for the Sparkle Labs kit. It's really sturdy. It's a good container. You actually want to put the stuff that you get with the kit back inside. Whereas with this, you want to buy a parts bin pretty quick. Now this comes with all the parts. The parts aren't in here. They're in a parts bin. But basically, it comes with all the stuff. Tells you what is in the envelope. It's hard to tell. It's hard to read. They give you some jumper wires. Not enough to do multiple projects. I think you can build every project with the included wires. But I had some lying around that I just cut myself. So, it also comes with resistors, buttons, a dip switch, potentiometers, a very small speaker, 556 timer, some LEDs, two photoresistors, 7805, which is a voltage regulator, ceramic capacitors, and diodes. Now, there's a problem when I got my kit. Mine didn't come with ceramic capacitors. And that was an issue, because pretty much every circuit you build in that entire book, the first circuit, the voltage regulator, you need the ceramic capacitors. Or, well, you don't actually need them, but I was new to this at the time, and I thought I had to build these things exact. And I had no idea what to do. I mean, I went to Radio Shack, and they had a couple of the ones that I needed, but not all of them. So I emailed Sparkle Labs, went on their website. I'll put that in a link below if you want to check out the kit. But basically, I emailed them explaining what happened, and they replied. This was on a holiday weekend. But they replied to me in a couple days, and I basically I think we sent maybe 3 or 4 emails in all, and we got the whole thing worked out. So, yeah, it was a bit of an inconvenience, but their customer service is great. I haven't had a single problem with the Electronics Learning Lab, but I'm not sure how Radio Shack's customer service is, because I've never had to use it. But so basically, what I'm trying to say here is, this is easier to learn from. This is more of a basic kit, very basic. They don't give you a lot of parts, but they gave you the key ones. Whereas the Learning Lab, they give you a lot of stuff that might not be beginner necessarily, like logic gates and stuff. They're hard to work with unless you really read up on how they work and stuff. And the instructions on how to build the circuits aren't as good. There's not as many pictures, and it's all in black and white. This book has pictures in it, and lots of pictures, easy to understand descriptions, or relatively easy descriptions. Like, capacitors are like water tanks, but instead of storing water, they store energy. That's pretty easy to understand. Whereas in here, they don't really give it much of an explanation. So, basically, this is more advanced. This is why I got this second. This is great for basically trying to extend your skills. If you're trying to find platform to build circuits on, they're kind of complex, and you need lots of off-board components and stuff. This is definitely the way to go. But if you're trying to go for ease of use and you just started, I would definitely go with this. I ordered this from ThinkGeek. It was $50. Oh, I'm going to say one more quick thing. This video's getting kind of long. But, really quick, basically, this is the first version. Now, they came out with version 2. You can buy it on the Sparkle Labs website. Like I said before, there'll be a link below. But basically, I'm not sure what the second version of this is like. I didn't look into it too much because I already bought it and it looked pretty much the same. But I think they made a couple of changes. Like, I know for a fact that in the new book, they've actually got like QR codes and stuff, so you can scan it, and then they bring you to a video online where they show you how to build the circuits, and that's definitely, without a doubt, easier if you're getting started. It's easier to build circuits with that than looking at this picture, the schematic, and following the directions, like push the power switch to off, move blue wire at spring 55 to spring 56. I mean, you don't learn anything from that. You have to kind of think more, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But this is a quicker way to learn basic electronics compared to this. So that's it for this video. Join in next week, and I think I'm going to talk about the Atari Punk console. Actually, I'll show you a quick demonstration. This is what we're talking about next week. Hopefully this will give you some incentive. So, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but I'll see you next week. Have a nice day. This is Basic Electronics. See you next week.